All right, what's up, everybody? Terminator Juice here with a Juice Opinions unplanned. Obviously, I just created the event like 5 minutes ago. So Nintendo Direct aired today. I just got done watching it probably 15, 20 minutes ago. I was at work when it started, so I just got home, made something to eat, and then just sat down and watched it uninterrupted. So avoided any spoilers, and so it was in a surprise everything. So yeah, I'm gonna give my thoughts on it. I'm debating whether just to tell you what I felt about it right now and then talk about it. Yeah, let's just say I thought it was a great direct. I had lower expectations because I don't know, I just felt like E3 there's going to be is the big announcements, and they already kind of laid out the first half of the year, so I wasn't expecting Nintendo to like wow us with anything, except they did at the end with a tease. So, but overall, it was a really good direct. The 3DS stuff, I already forgot what they showed, minus Luigi's Mansion, which they said remastered, but I mean, it didn't look better than the GameCube version. So I know a lot of people are going to say, well, why isn't that coming to the Switch? And that was kind of my first thought, but Dark Moon did really well on the 3DS, and it kind of makes sense to have the first game on the 3DS now. And honestly, I don't need that game on the Switch. It's way too easy. It's way too short. It's basically you could finish that game in a day, half a day. I mean, you could start playing when you get home from work, have dinner or something, and before you go to bed, you probably already beat the game. I mean, it's a really short, really easy game on the GameCube, so I don't mind that not coming to Switch. I think it's actually a better fit on 3DS. So we'll have to see what they do moving forward with that franchise. If we get a third game, that definitely needs to be on the Switch. But the original game, the second one expanded upon the idea so much that it's going to feel like playing a demo. The first game is going to feel like it's a demo compared to Dark Moon, because Dark Moon was that much more of a game and that much more content. So don't really bother me at all. It's fine. If I ever got the inclination to play that game again, I got the option to get it on the 3DS when that comes out. And I forget what the release date was, but everything else on the 3DS is absolutely nothing to me. Like, I don't care about any of that. So let's move on to the Switch. And it was very interesting. So we got, some release dates. There was a big omission. Probably the only thing I felt was guaranteed. Big surprise tease at the end, and some big third-party surprises, that really I didn't see coming. So really cool stuff. So let's get into it. And I don't have anything written down. I'm just going to go off memory. But Project Octopath, no, it's just Octopath Traveler now, official title. Comes out in July, I believe. They showed off a couple characters and showed the special edition, which looks cool. I'm not going to try to even bother trying to get that. I have a feeling it's going to be really hard to get. But, I'm not sure how full-fledged this game is. It going to be super long type of game? Is it going to be each character has kind of a short story, and maybe if you play all 8, then you get some length out of it? I'm not sure. I just know the demo was pretty good. The battle system, everything needed some tweaking, which it sounds like they're going to do. They're going to let you skip cutscenes. When you died, you got to redo a battle. That was a big issue with the demo. I'm confident it's going to be a really good game. I'm not huge into turn-based, but I do like the art style, and that the demo was good enough that I'm interested in the game, and I want to see what the price is going to be when it's, the full-fledged game. But the special edition and stuff for people that like, especially huge RPG fans, and it's a cool thing. I'm not going to get it, like I said. Even if I wanted it, I think it's going to be hard to get. So but that's cool. Got a release date. I'm trying to think, was it July 18th or 13th or something like that? So that's actually second half of the year. Everything else, I think, was first half of the year or didn't get a release date, but cool stuff there. A head scratcher, absolutely low point of the direct. I don't even know what to say. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, another fucking Wii U port, and did that give it a release date? If somebody can, was that in April? I forget. If somebody knows in the chat, please fill me in. Disappointing game for me on the Wii U. I did everything but the very final ridiculous level and had 13 hours in the game. I mean, yeah, it was $40, but just to me, probably should have been. Oh, that's the July game. Captain Toad was the July. What was Project Octopath then? I don't want to get that mixed up because I thought Octopath was the July game. But Captain Toad for me, like I said, it's just a simple. I mean, there's some challenging ones near the end, but it was just a quick, 1 year development basically after 3D World. Not a terrible game, but nothing to be excited for. Bring it out on the Switch in a year where we're already getting a ton of Wii U ports, to me, just makes no goddamn sense. I don't think it adds anything to the library. I think it actually, for me, it hurts the Switch's first half of your library. It hurts its overall library. It's not, a sought after type of game. It's not, it sold pretty well. If that fucking game isn't at least maximum $40 on this re-release, if they try to charge 50 or 60, I mean, it's time to start boycotting some stuff. That's how I feel, because this game absolutely should not be more than 40. They added some stuff, some Odyssey stuff here, which, that could be free DLC on the Wii U version, so just never been a fan of Captain Toad. Was kind of one of my least played games on the Wii U. It was one of the bigger disappointments for me. I know it's just a puzzle game. It's not meant to be anything massive, but why bring that to the Switch? I'd rather see Tokyo Mirage Sessions or trying to even think. Maybe not even. Yeah, Tokyo Mirage Sessions would probably be the only one. I was done with Wii U ports anyway. I'm disappointed that we're getting so many, and then getting two weeks apart in May. Like, I'm gonna just go through the negatives real quick and then move on. Hyrule Warriors comes out 2 weeks after Tropical Freeze, which they didn't even mention Tropical Freeze again. So I'm assuming that release date's holding on May 5th or whatever it is, May 6th. And 2 weeks later, you get Hyrule Warriors. So 2 Wii U ports back to back on the Switch in May. Just, it makes absolutely no sense to me. Labo's coming out in April, but just you only need one Wii U port a month. If you don't even need it that many, but to put 2 out in a 2-week span, and then Captain Toad's not that long after that, I don't know what to think. That to me is they didn't have anything really planned for Q1 or for H1 the first half of the year, and to me that was kind of an insult that they're bringing that game, another Wii U port, and and then the fact that Hyrule Warriors and Donkey Kong are coming out. It's like you don't want me to buy anything this first half. Or Mario Tennis Aces is the only Switch game I might be buying in the first 6 months of the year, which is really sad. But sticking with the negatives, not really a negative, but just something I think is going to be a lame duck. It's going to not sell is the Dark Souls amiibo. I think that's a really dumb idea. I think that's going to be on the shelf for $5, just like the amiibo double pack, not the amiibo double pack, the Animal Crossing ones. When they put all those Animal Crossing ones out and they didn't sell, you could get like a double or triple pack for like $4, like within a year after it came out. I think that the Dark Souls amiibo is really unnecessary. I don't see a lot of people buying that amiibo, and what it does to the game is just it's really what's the word, fluff. You know, it's just really stretching thin there. The amiibo craze is over. I just don't see it. It just seems like a waste of time. But whatever, you know, the game looks okay. It looks, you know, obviously better than the PS3 version did, but nothing major there. Not a big fan of that gameplay style, the art style, anything about Dark Souls. I'm not really interested in, but I thought the amiibo looks pretty pointless. And then the last thing, it's not, again, not really a negative, but it is a little weird that they want me to pay $20 to finally be able to play as an Octoling. Yeah, the trailer was really awesome, and it might be a great single player, but $20, what do you guys think? If the single player, if this expansion is about the same amount of content as the single player that's already in Splatoon 2, is $20 a good price? I don't think so, but like I said, the trailer music was awesome. The Octolings look pretty cool. Not as, I don't know, I wasn't as thrilled with the design, but it was a really cool trailer. So I don't know. You guys know I haven't really played too much Splatoon 2. Doesn't really get the juices flowing like a Rocket League or Doom or something, but you know, it's a tough one for me. The paid DLC, they're bringing more old maps for free and then new gear for free. I'd rather have Octolings playable for free, but whatever. We'll see. I got to see, you know, what the single player is going to be like. To maybe that might be the April. I'm trying to remember. Something's coming out in April, so maybe it'll be all right. Something to pick up and play. And but I don't know. That's about it for the things that weren't really exciting or negative, you know, that were negatives for me. So let's just get on to, you know, more of the positive stuff. Okami HD. Now, for some people, it's going to be a negative because it's digital only, but it's an old ass game. I have the Wii version. I may or may not pick up the HD version. We'll see. I love that they have the motion controls because that made the Wii version the superior version, in my opinion. The visuals look really nice. It's a great game, and I'm fine with it being digital, actually. And it was cool that Capcom finally did it. And I believe that was going to be, that might have been April. I don't know. It's before E3. That's all I know for sure. And it was cool that Capcom finally stepped up. I'm not sure if the other versions came out. They might have, like PS4, Xbox One, but a little too late, maybe, Capcom. But at least they're bringing it. But it's just, what's the price going to be? And if it's digital only, that's going to probably piss some people off. Doesn't bother me. Another big surprise was the Crash Insane trilogy, which I've seen people, rumors here and there, and OJ covering it and stuff. And I didn't think it was impossible. I kind of felt like it made sense, and I kind of jokingly, with the Juices Loose crew, was saying, I don't want Crash on a Nintendo system. I know there's been some versions of Crash games on like the Game Boy Advance and some portables and stuff, but like they said, it's the first time Crash has ever been on a Nintendo console, and I could have lived my whole life without Crash being on a Nintendo console. But the fact that it's coming, and the people that played it on PS4 seem to think that it was pretty good. You know, the Crash fans. I never was a fan. I felt like they just needed a mascot, and they didn't want to copy Mario and the limitations of the PS1 for 3D games. They ended up with this play style where you're running at the camera, and you know, I know the second and third game expanded upon that, but you know, it's cool. We'll see if it's all on one cart or if you got to download stuff. You know, it remains to be seen how this is going to be handled. If it's all on the cart, all three games, you know, I'm cool with it. So for those Crash fans, I know Ms. T is going to get it. So I'm not sure about anyone else, if they're Crash fans or not. But yeah, I was cool with that, even though I jokingly said I don't want Crash on a Nintendo system. The next one was Ubisoft coming with South Park, The Fractured Butthole. It was kind of funny hearing the guy keep saying butthole, but again, not my kind of game. I'm not a big South Park fan. I was watching South Park 20 years ago, and it was funny then, and it was relatively new then, because I was at my other job, and I've been at my current job for 20 years tomorrow. So to me, South Park has no impact on me. I know people still love it, and it seems to be, revered as a pretty good RPG series. So that was another game that was rumored. Not really a big surprise, but that's coming to the Switch, so that's cool. Like I said, I'm going off the top of my head, so I'm trying to remember what else. They talked about Kirby for a little bit and some playable characters, and again, Kirby's not my thing. It's too easy. And this game looks, I mean, it basically auto plays. And I heard Brian Altano on IGN, they were talking about how the demo, it just auto plays for you with those AI characters. It's just like, it makes it even easier. So it was cool to see Meta Knight and King DDD and some of their Smash moves, it looked like. So, I mean, that's cool. Nothing wrong with that. There's some free content coming. Some characters and stuff. There was a couple indie games I think that were shown. I really kind of tuned out for that. No More Heroes. You want to talk about an underwhelming looking game for people that were super excited? That's got to be hugely disappointing. That gameplay looks really simplistic, really repetitive. I mean, what'd they use Unreal Engine for? Unreal Engine 4, why do they have that engine? I mean, it's a pretty simplistic looking game. Nothing wowed me with that trailer. I can't think even the most diehard No More Heroes fan got excited by that. So that one's kind of disappointing. They said it's 2018. I don't know. I think they need to maybe put that back in the oven, and I don't know. We'll see. Nothing exciting. I never played the first two, but I was hoping for something more from this game than what I saw. Then again, we saw Dark Souls, talked about that. What am I forgetting? Mario Tennis, Aces. Day one purchase. Looks stellar. What is that? June 22nd. So that's technically first half of the year. I love three things. Let me tell you the three things I love about it. Focusing on the mechanics of tennis. Number one, they even have a basics mode that's basically basic. I keep saying basic, but it's strips away all the nonsense. There's not even really that much nonsense in this game, but it takes away the arcadiness or the gimmicky stuff that looks really cool. Way better than Ultra Smash, Ultra Trash. But you have the option to just play tennis with 2-on-2, and that's really cool. I'm really excited for that. But even the quote unquote gimmick stuff looks really cool, like the strategy and that of the power meter, and that all that looks really cool. The second thing was the online. They confirmed friends, they confirmed tournaments. I mean, come on, like, why wasn't that in Ultra Smash? But the fact that that's there, great. And then, I mean, for those Wii Sports guys, I know Meza T, I know Red Knight for sure. I mean, you get to play Wii Sports with Mario Tennis visuals and characters. I mean, come on. I forget what they called it, swing mode or something. Looks freaking awesome. I'm guessing you don't get to control the character. Maybe you just swing a la Wii Sports Tennis. I mean, it's a no-brainer. Why wasn't that in Ultra Smash? It's so freaking obvious. Like, I don't know what they were thinking. I know Ultra Smash was rushed and they needed something, but this game it hits on those 3 points. So, and it's like, that's a day one purchase. I don't care if it's $60, which it probably will be and probably should be. Visuals look great. The single player story mode looks fun. The variety of the environments, the different, courts with the grass and different, surfaces. It looks freaking awesome. It's just, I can't wait to play that with everybody online, you know, and we'll see how they do the lobby system because it's only 2-on-2 max. That's 4 people. Will they do an arms thing where you can have like 10 friends in a lobby and you kind of break off and play? You know, we'll have to see, but really excited for that. That was one of the highlights, if not the highlight of, you know, first half of the year for the Switch for me. I mean, basically, that's it. That's the one game I know I'm buying in the first half of 2018 for Nintendo Switch, which is kind of sad, but I'm also very content with Rocket League and Doom and Mario Odyssey second playthrough. So we're getting a demo for Mario Tennis Aces to test the online. Dark Souls is doing that as well, so maybe I'll check that game out. And then they talked about ARMS update, which I haven't even turned on. That game, the community's, I hate to say it, but the community's just gone with that game. I'd love to play it more, but there's just so many other games that, you know, are ahead of it for online gaming, and it's just, it sucks, but it is what it is. And I'm trying to think of, other than Splatoon 2, did I forget anything major? It's, you know, obviously we talk about the Smash tease, but trying to think if there was anything else. Well, if I think of it or somebody puts it in the chat, let's talk about Splatoon 2. So I talked about it a little bit as a negative. You know, I don't know if I want to pay $20 for the Octo expansion, but you know, they're bringing update 3.0, a bunch of costumes, our gear, whatever. I thought there'd be more new hairstyles and stuff. There wasn't. And then 2 more old stages. We're getting what was the one? They were both DLC maps from Splatoon 1. The camp triggerfish, and I forget the other one. And then a new map, which I don't know, they didn't show much of it, but the screenshot looked pretty cool. But you're gonna add more maps, so 3 more maps coming on top of all the other ones, and they're still gonna do the 2-hour, 2 maps, 2-hour rotation. I don't even think they can. That's 12 different you know, rotations with 2 maps, so it's 24. So they probably still have enough to have each map each day, but that means that there's gonna be maps between midnight and like 6 a.m. just switching that I might want to play. You know, it's like, if you're gonna keep adding maps, you got to change that. You got to make it so if I just want to go to play, you know, open map lobby where it's like, it's just random like Mario Kart and you vote, I think a lot of people would play that, because I don't need to plan a weapon for 2 stages. I don't care about that stuff. I just want to play the game. I want to play all the maps. I want to play the new maps. I don't want to sit there and have to play Moray Towers for 2 hours. You know, it doesn't make any sense. So they didn't, no mention of any kind of tweaks in that regard, but you know, it's more free content. It's cool. But the Octo expansion trailer, that music, that trailer was the highlight of the direct, and just because it's so freaking awesome. The way it was directed, the musical choice, it was just like amazing. So it sucks, in my opinion, that it's $20 for that to play as an Octoling in a new single player story. But like I said earlier, it depends on how much, you know, that's really going to matter to me, how many hours it takes to beat that. If that's like a 3-hour thing, it's not worth $20. But if that's a 5, 6, 7-hour single player first time through, and it's got a really cool story, that's worth $20. So I'll have to wait and see. But you know, the Octolings are cool. I guess if you pre-order it, then you get some Octoling gear. But really, once you beat the single player, then you can play as an Octoling in the online stuff. And then, you know, I saw some, they didn't feature or really talk about it, but I saw some really cool hairstyles featuring like the male and female Octolings. So that's really cool. I'm looking forward to that. I think Octolings should have been in this game a long time ago. It'll be interesting to see what, you know, people's reactions are to paying for content now for Splatoon, because it's been since 2015, where, you know, year 3 here of free content for these games. So it'll be interesting to me to hear everyone else's reaction to the paid stuff. Me, I'm kind of in the middle right now. We'll have to wait and see. Give me a reason to play the damn Splatoon 2 again. And if there's nothing else really out, that could be a factor for me. And I'll probably pick it up. I'm not going to sit here and say no chance or I'm just, it's a a very likely scenario. Yeah, let's just say that if everything turns out and it's not some 2-hour expansion as far as a single player. So let's get on to the last thing, and that is, and sorry, I skipped a few things that I didn't care about, like the sushi game, and there was like a couple indie games or something shown. Purposely skipped those. Don't have any thoughts on them. But let's get on to the final thing they showed, which honestly I was hoping was a Splatoon movie, because that CG they use, the animation, the visual quality of the CGI, that's damn near getting towards Pixar level. Like, that was amazing, and I was actually hoping that there was going to be a movie or a TV series or something. Like, that was really cool. Turns out to be a tease for freaking Smash Brothers, and it's like when you saw the flame in their eye, and then you saw just like the silhouette of Mario and Link, and like, how epic was that? Like, that was amazing. It's interesting, and I like that they did it in a tease, because now it's like you could talk, until we find out at E3. There's gonna be so much debate and back and forth. Is this Smash 4 with Inkling characters, or is this a brand new Smash game, or is it not even, or is it in between? It's not gonna be Smash for Switch. It's just gonna be Super Smash Brothers, get a title, and be basically everything Smash 4 was, but with a lot of new, but not built from the ground up, to be called Smash 5. So like I said, we can be talking about this for until E3, which is only 3 months away at this point. But that was a cool teaser, and it was short and sweet, really well done CGI, and it definitely got me pumped, and I can't wait. 2018, we know the game's coming. I'm going to guess November. November 21st, 2014 was Smash Brothers for Wii U. So I'm going to guess, right around that time frame. I'm not sure. I have to look at the calendar, see what the Friday is. Probably not the Friday after Thanksgiving. So that's what I'm going to guess. Could be earlier. Could be like in October, like a Odyssey or something. September, but I'm going to guess November. And that's how you tease a game. It's coming this year. That's what they said. And it just showed us, the Inklings are going to be in there. Is Breath of the Wild going to be represented? Are some new Fire Emblem characters going to be represented? I'm trying to think of other games. ARMS characters. Like, there's been a lot of new games since then, and be curious to find out. So they really now the next Direct or E3, like, I'm really excited. Basically, their first half of the year, they've had a mini Direct now, and this Direct, it's March. I'd be shocked if there's anything but maybe a mini Direct before E3 or a game-specific Direct. But I think they got, pretty much those out of the way, and the next thing we're going to see really is Nintendo's E3 Spotlight, or whatever they choose to call it. So really excited. But, again, thought this was a great Direct. Got the 3DS stuff out of the way real quick, and had third-party surprises, had a big first-party tease, and the only negative really was, for me, was another Wii U port and Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. That was really the only thing. But I forgot about the omissions. So let's talk about the things I thought for sure were going to be in here. That's Wolfenstein 2 release date, because about 3 weeks ago they said they had progress to report and it was coming soon. That's not going to be in a Direct. Like, I'm shocked that absolutely would have bet probably $100 that we would have found out Wolfenstein 2's release date, or at least saw the game and found out fall, summer, spring, so that was disappointing. So I guess that's a negative too, but I thought for sure we'd see that. The Yoshi game, nothing on that, so I'm guessing they're going to save that for E3. And what else? Feels like there was something else I kind of Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. I guess I thought they would at least remind people. So, but it's not a big deal. It wasn't there. We got a full reveal the last at the mini direct. So, just really shocked at Wolfenstein 2, especially after the Doom update, the motion, the gyros, added. Great update that they just did, and then they recently said they were going to talk about Wolfenstein 2 really soon. So I was really shocked. That could be, if that comes out in the first half of the year, that's another game I'll be buying on top of Mario Tennis. So yeah, it was a little weird that wasn't shown. And then shout out to Terrell. He was the one that reminded people about some of those 3DS games, which actually the Dylan Driller, whatever that game was, he called some of that stuff Project. Keep calling it Project, but it's just Octopath Traveler. So shout out to him for his predictions. He had quite a few right, and I thought, oh, you missed Wolfenstein, that's for sure. Nope, that isn't for sure. They didn't talk about it. So anyway, great direct. I'm glad Nintendo. It was good timing for it. Going to kind of overshadow the Xbox One. That's the Saturday, and they no way they could have planned it on purpose that way. But some big news: third-party games. Switch is going to continue to sell. And Wii U ports, whether, I'm mad at it for Captain Toad, but you might be super excited if you're watching this, you never had a Wii U or you never picked up some of these games. They're great games. And, get them if you haven't played them. I'm not mad, I guess, that they exist. It's just, for me, it just didn't fit that Captain Toad come out, this year, this first half, on top of all the other Wii U ports. So, yeah, that's going to be it for this Juice Opinions. We'll talk about this more, get everybody's thoughts and impressions on Monday's Juices Loose podcast. I think basically we'll probably talk the whole time about the Direct, and maybe depending on what Microsoft does on Saturday, we'll probably bash them either way a little bit, and then we'll talk about the Direct. So thanks for everybody for tuning in live. Hope you enjoyed this, and give it a like, and we'll see you guys on Monday.